This is an NBC News special report. Crisis in Moscow.
Журналистов отвечали исполняющий обязанности президента СССР Геннадий Янович.
It says that Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev is no longer exercising his duties.
August 19th, 1991. The day the Earth stood still just for another moment. The period in time when Gennady Yanayev and his Gang of Eight briefly took power in an attempt to preserve the Soviet Union for just a little bit longer. This is the Soviet Coup, and we're going to be talking about it today. Welcome back to the August coup of 1991, 30 years later, where today I will be speaking of the second day of the coup, August 20th, 1991. Let's not waste any more time and go right into this.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. Tanks in the streets, shots in the night. Soviet politicians involved in the coup against Mr. Gorbachev now allegedly in their sickbeds.
At approximately 8 a.m., the Chaget, the Soviet equivalent to the nuclear football, was ordered to be returned to Moscow. Although he discovered that the GKCHP's actions had cut off communications with the nuclear duty officers, the Chaget was returned to Moscow by 2 p.m. At noon, Moscow's military district commander, General Nikolai Kalinin, whom Yanayev appointed as military commandant of Moscow, declared a curfew in Moscow from 2300 hours to 500 hours, effective from August 20th. This was understood as the sign that the attack on the White House was imminent. The defenders of the White House prepared themselves, most of them being unarmed. Evdokimov's tanks were moved from the White House in the evening. The makeshift White House defense headquarters was headed by General Kobets, a Russian SFSR People's Deputy. Outside, Eduard Shevardnadze, Mstislav Rostropovich, and Yelena Bonner delivered speeches in support of Yeltsin. Despite the conflict going on and during it, U.S. President George H.W. Bush telephoned Yeltsin and assured him that normal relations with Moscow would resume only after Gorbachev was back in office. President George Bush also made a statement denouncing the coup, stating that Gorbachev was the legitimate leader of the Soviet Union, not Yanayev. In the afternoon, Kryuchkov, Yazov, and Pugo finally decided to attack the White House. This decision was supported by other GKCHP members. Kryuchkov and Yazov's deputies, KGB General Agayev and Army General Vladislav Achilov, respectively, planned the assault, codenamed Operation Grom, also known as Thunder in English, which would gather elements of the Alpha Group and Vimpel elite special forces units, with the support of paratroopers, Moscow Oman, the Russian equivalent of a SWAT team, the internal troops of the Odon, 3 tank companies, and a helicopter squadron. Alpha Group Commander General Viktor Karpukhin and other senior officers of the unit, together with Airborne Troops Deputy Commander General Alexander Lebed, mingled with the crowd near the White House and assessed the possibility of such an operation. During Lebed's assessment, Karpukhin and Vimpel commander Colonel Beskov tried to convince Agayev that such an attack would have been negative, as unnecessary blood would have been shed against the protesters. Lebed, instead of reporting his findings to the GKCHP, he reported his findings to the White House, that also an attack against Yeltsin and his government would take place at 200 hours. While the events were unfolding in the capital, Estonia's Supreme Council declared at 2303 the full reinstatement of the independent status of the Republic of Estonia after 51 years. Back in Moscow, state-controlled task dispatches from this day emphasized a hardline approach against crime, especially economic crimes and the Russian mafia, which the GKCHP blamed on increasing trade with the West. Draft decrees were later discovered, which would have allowed military and police patrols to shoot hooligans, including pro-democracy demonstrators.